Cameron Sikes. He is fresh off the set of a whole nother show. He'll tell you all about that in a second. Cameron, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. All right, you are the advisor for Creswell Oregonics, right?
Yeah, with Deep Elm Capital, and we're advising Creswell Oregonics right now on a current fundraise.
Tell me more about Deep Elm Capital. What do you do? And then I want to get into Creswell.
We work with different family offices, investment groups, and we help connect them with business owners who are looking to raise capital or sell their company.
Okay. How long has it been around?
Deep Elm, we actually found that this year. Prior to that, I had Eliadis Ventures, where I'd source capital for different private equity groups. Founded Deep Elm with my good friend and business partner Brian Bethel, who owns a digital advertising agency out here and has been involved with in private equity for about 10 years now.
All right, tell me more about Creswell. What does it do? And then I can't leave out the show that you just came off of. We'll tease that for a little bit. Tell me more about Creswell.
Well, Creswell's based out of Eugene, Oregon. It is an emerging cannabis company. What makes it really interesting is that they own the intellectual property rights for a proprietary grow system that has potential to completely revolutionize the indoor growing space.
Okay. How is it different than just about anybody else in that space? What are they doing that makes them a disruptor in their industry?
Well, traditionally around 40% of all crops are basically lost during the harvest due to bugs or mold. And so traditionally, growers would fight this by using pesticides or fungicides, which kind of ruins the quality of the cannabis. Anytime if someone, if any reviewers have ever smoked pot before and they notice a harsh taste in their mouth, that's not because the actual cannabis itself, it's coming from the pesticides or the fungicides in that. Essentially, we're able to prevent, completely eliminate all the loss in the harvest. We're able to do it without pesticides or fungicides, and we're able to also accomplish this while cutting the biggest expense in these is their electricity bill. We cut that completely in half, and we use a proprietary airflow system that mimics high altitude so the bugs can't lay eggs or reproduce.
Wow. There's got to be more applications than just cannabis with this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just applicable to cannabis, it's actually applicable to all agriculture that's grown indoors. So it's really exciting, and saves these people money, increases yield, and it doesn't do anything to hurt the quality of the product itself.
Wow. Have you started to branch out into those other crops? There's all kinds of stuff on a global scale that this is applicable, with.
Yeah, we're in the process of building this out. As of right now, we're only engaged with cannabis growers in the state of Oregon, but we're in talks with a few groups right now to kind of expand that to more other farming systems. Okay.
Current clients that you're working with, can you walk us through that?
We have right now. We're working with a handful of grows out in Oregon, and we think it's a really great opportunity for them to kind of help enhance their product. In the same token, with some of our plans that we're trying to work towards in the future, it's going to be really conducive to helping that happen.
Aside from food for humans, I can see this as a huge, huge agricultural crop for hay or alfalfa, animal consumption. Are you going to branch out in that direction too?
Absolutely. It's a solution to a problem that, especially in this day and age, so many people are concerned with, where their products are coming from, how they're grown, the health, what the effects of it in the human body. And with this, we're not putting anything in there to actually enhance the cannabis itself. It's a proprietary system that literally just uses natural air. And so, health effects, if anything, it's going to be more healthy than, what you're putting in your body today.
Give me your long-term vision.
Well, our long-term vision is that we want to build this out and be able to sell this product to growers, but we also want to actually start having our own grow facility and ultimately building a vertically integrated cannabis brand by acquiring different dispensaries, having the grow facility, having the intellectual property. And then we're also talking about some other ways to kind of modernize this with technology today. We can't get into the details there, but it's some really exciting stuff going on right now.
Okay, that sounds good. How are you funding this? Is it internal? Are you doing it organically? Are you taking on investors? Talk to me about that.
We're taking on investors right now. We've been speaking to some really big VCs out in the Silicon Valley area who are heavily involved in the space. Some companies out in Canada. We actually just we're in some preliminary meetings right now with a group based out of Canada who's actually building the largest indoor grow facility in the entire world. It's going to be 5.3 million square feet out in Queensland, Australia. And their electric bill would be $8 million a month, and this would be able to reduce it to $4 million, which obviously is still a lot, but I mean, that's saving them a lot of money.
Tell me about the biggest misconceptions when you're talking, because you're at the table, you have to answer the hard questions. The biggest misconceptions that come your way that you've got to deal with that we can dispel with this interview. When people talk to you about what
yeah, I think what's really interesting about this day and age is that there's always been this really negative stigma towards cannabis itself, but you see a lot more people, especially with CBD, coming around and all the actual practical just health uses for that in the industry, and people kind of growing up around it. It's that stigma is slowly fading away, and you can see that it's not just a product that people who are on the down outs or drug addicts or anything like that using, you're seeing Fortune 500 CEOs who are regular pot smokers, heads of Silicon Valley. It's becoming much more mainstream, and I think it's on a really exciting trajectory, and it's a industry that's the Wild West right now. But I think you're seeing a lot of smart money starting to actually move into this industry, and I think a lot of exciting things are about to happen.
I do too. Definitely, and you're at the forefront. Whenever you're able to get a 50% reduction in cost, especially on energy, you're way ahead of the curve. You recently were on a very, very famous show. Talk to us about what you were doing and where it was aired and the experience you had with it.
Absolutely, yeah. I just made my debut on Temptation Island this last Tuesday, and for those of you who aren't currently watching Temptation Island, I strongly suggest you tune in at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on USA Network to check me out. It was a wild experience, definitely an interesting break from the normal day-to-day monotony of life, that's to say the least. Sounds
good. All right, in regards to what your future plans are, not just with Creswell, but what are you doing with Deep Ellum Capital? I mean, what kind of businesses do you want to have come to you in that company?
Honestly, we have a very opportunistic vision. We're agnostic in the sense that we're not just going to be focused on one particular industry. We're open to innovators and pioneers who are coming in there with great ideas and visions in all different industries. So we want to be working with those up-and-coming business leaders, helping them find strategic capital in order to help their companies push to scale. We're going to be expanding our network of family offices, hedge funds, and other investment groups, and that we can help, bring money and help bring opportunities to.
Are there any workshops or other public venues that you're going to be participating with in the near future so people can come up and shake your hand and talk to you about what your visions are?
We're thinking about setting some stuff up in the near future, but nothing is really on the calendar as of yet.
Great. Well, I've got something that I want to introduce you to here in town. All right. Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. You've been watching CEO Money. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.